How about Jamari? Is there anything
Yes.
to add, or are we should we keep pushing up? And William, welcome. Ken, welcome.
William, welcome.
Yeah, I can say Marcus really touched base on a lot of that. He really explained the core essence when it comes to how battling started in Toronto too, because that was like the mecca of it. That was like the first battle, and yeah, just a genuine feeling of what we feel out here in that time, especially. Yeah, he touched base on it, man. So there's nothing really much to add on that.
I feel you. We have William Haywood out here pulling up. If you have anything to say too about Toronto Krump or its history, anything you can. If you feel like you want to just chill and watch, you can do that too. But if you have any comments, let me know. If not, I'm going to go to the next question. Cool. But welcome. He's been crumping, so please believe.
Been.
Time. Crumps.
It's actually crazy because it was like after the Rage Fam versus Everyone battle, I think Certain Man's left Rage Fam. That was the first time I met Will after dancing. Like about a week and a half, 2 weeks after, Jasper and Will met me at Kennedy Station and we danced in my boy's basement on Candy Road. So that's more history. I need to catalog this.
Next question. I think everyone's kind of hit it, but we'll maybe take a couple comments and keep moving if it's something we haven't talked about. But why is Krump important to you, and what is its main use? So why is it important? Because really we're a bunch of 20-some-year-olds dancing around the city, battling each other for names and whatnot. We really liked it, and to this day, not even we. I literally in the fall we were dancing and stuff.
Yes.
So it's we really like this dance for some reason. Is it important to you? If you want to go, I feel like you said it, but if you want to hit it again quickly.
Anyone want to go? Who wants to go?
I'll hit it since I jumped in late. Yeah, I could say Krump is important to me. It's obviously we all know it's a form of expression. It really allows you to let people know who the hell you are when you're dancing. I also like it because it helps spread a lot of awareness when it comes to confidence, self-confidence. When it also comes to touching base, when it spreading confidence within youth as well. And it's very, very communal when it comes to black, white, Chinese, female, cat, dog, whatever. We all come together and we all share and express what we need to express, whatever's on our mind, whatever we're going through. So this is all basic facts with all of us being Krumpers. That's where I come from.
I feel that. No, I hear that. No, continue, Mark.
Everything Rhino just said.
Yes,
and for me, just so I don't want to repeat what other people are pretty much hitting the nail on, but ever since becoming a big homie, I feel like the more the connections I've had with people are connections I haven't been able to get anywhere else in my life. Even after doing the program that I did last year, I was expecting to just have people come in, learn Krump for free, and then kind of leave. And all of us just kind of stay together. We still talk to this day. And it's just the most beautiful thing that I've experienced with Krump so far. So I feel like anyone who has experienced being a big homie, that is icing on the cake for me, that I wasn't expecting out of Krump, just because fam is fam, but to the degree that I've experienced it, it's really great.
I hear that. I can attest to that as well, but we'll talk about that another day. But I hear that. I really hear that. William, what are you saying, bro?
Yo, I was trying to figure this shit out, man. Excuse me.
No, it's well, glad you figured it out. Welcome. Is there anything you want to touch on about who you are and in the Krump space and what Krump means to you?
Yeah, sure. You guys know me. Most of you guys know me. I'm Will Haywood. I go by Sledge the Blacksmith. And I used to be under Ruthless. A lot of people in the community used to be under Ruthless. So
Yo, why is he not here? I'm see if I can get him in the chat. Continue.
No, like for real though.
that was a phase and that was a moment in Krump. But yeah, I found my own name, my own identity, and that's been a great journey in Krump, and just exploring my own character and my own style, and just vibing and meeting different people through Krump. Man, it's such a powerful dance, and it's allowed me to explore who I am in Krump and outside of Krump. Whenever I develop, outside of Krump, I develop in Krump, and vice versa. So it's a crazy sort of relationship, symbiotic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to say that. It's a crazy symbiotic relationship. I think that's the word. Like
That's it.
that's the dictionary. Whoa, Oxford, pull up. Oxford dictionaries pulled up.
And that memory that we're talking about, that memory that Marcus was talking about, how we were dancing at
Matches.
Who was that?
He was Lil Ruthless at one point, I think. Or
Oh
was he Boy Ruthless? I don't know. How many Ruthlesses have there been? Like,
that was my first session.
That was your first?
That was my first session. So great. I found out about Krump through a good friend of mine one summer years ago. And he showed me tie-dyes, and we're watching like Buckets of the Mall. And he's like, yeah, man, look up tie-dyes. And I'm like spelling in YouTube Tide, like the soap. Nothing's coming up.
Everybody had their misconception at one point.
And I'm trying to figure this out. And he's like, yo, send the link on MSN. Like, this was from Time. And like right away, I sent it to MSN. Like, Time.
Whoa, that's facts. Whoa.
How old are we?
Whoa.
Man, sorry.
You brought me backwards. You brought me back. Yo, I remember talking to
Messaging Senior Network.
Whoa.
If you're coming response in your name.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Log off and log on, log off, log on, bro.
Yo.
In quotes?
Yo, I'm online.
I'm like,
whoa.
Showing the songs you're playing? Oh my god.
Whoa. When that came out, I was pretty much a DJ. I'm like, look at I bust off tune on MSN.
No, the song you're playing thing never worked. Oh, like every time you change a song, it stick to that last song you played for days.
You know what?
Remember just putting open bracket, number 8, close bracket.
Oh. Whoa. No, that's funny. It's funny, me and Ken's conversations pretty much built a Krump career on MSN. It was like because we were friends before, right? We were like boys before. We had kind of like just met, but we're like, do you? It was actually hilarious, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, okay. Next question. Where does Krump fit in the larger Toronto dance culture context? That's like, where does like Krump fit in the larger Toronto dance scene? Because that's a question I think we've tried to figure out. Like, where's Waldo? Like, me and Waldo try to figure out it too. Waldo's like, where does Krump fit? You know what I mean? And so it's like, what do you think? Like, where does Krump fit? And maybe also, how has it progressed in terms of where it fits in the dance space in Toronto?
I can say it's been the same. Like, and it's been the same where it's like hey, we're here, come out, like, with Krump, like since way back, like there's been sessions and sessions and sessions, and these sessions, like, like people are coming out. You'll see people come out, want to do a 1-2, and then they would disappear, and they wouldn't really support the session, jumping in session, learning about the culture, really engaging. And you have other people as well, like Aaron, for example, who did hip hop. Other people did popping, and they were in that world, but they weren't like, I'll be in your world, come out to my world. Oh, okay, I'll come out, come in for a bit, and then disappear. And then do you really feel like you want to stay there, or you want to feel something else that Krump gives us? So I feel like when it comes to the Krump in the Greater Toronto, people know about it, but they're still pretty skeptical about it. You know what I mean? And skeptical in the sense where, like, I don't want to look silly when I'm crumping. Everybody looks silly when they're learning something for the first time, but when it comes to crump, they feel extra silly. You know what I mean? Because it's a very uncomfortable dance to get into when you're starting for the first time. So that's, I can say it's recognized, but yeah, people are still skeptical, and it's been like that since back in the day, in my opinion.
Right.
And I can say the progression that we've had so far is like, yeah, there are more sessions happening than just like one session, like the 416. You know what I mean? Like every era there was 416, there was Krump City, there was, you know, like there was only just that one session. There was only that one session. I mean, now there's like, yeah, there's more sessions going on, more than one. And I can feel like that's really the progression we've got. And there's more, the younger gen is hungry. Everybody's hungry. So I can say that's the progression I see. And yeah, that's my take.
To add on to that too, like now we have more figures, you know, male, female leaders,
you
know, participants, you know, wanting to take part. But I think the thing is too is that the dance community, they really misconceived also the aggressiveness and the intensity of Krump when it came to the mixture, and they never asked like why. Like they never asked why. They never cared to know why. It was just like, this is what it is, and this is what it's been after it's made. You know, some Krumpers also feel like, you know, do I have to be a certain way for you to feel comfortable around us? And it's been like that now. So it's almost like trauma. Like it's a slight, if you actually look at it, it's a slight bit of trauma. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you had a couple of bad experiences or misunderstandings with Krump, so it turned you off. You know what I mean? Like you just didn't, it feels like that. Like it just feels like some people do not want to understand more of the culture and what's going on, and they're missing so much because, to answer your question as well, this dance brings wellness to people. You know what I mean? Resilience, as Jamari said, understanding of self, understanding of others, and you know, it's a hell of a good workout as well. So like, we're missing so many of the good things of this dance that actually unites so many cultures and people, and sexes too. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, the dance is male dominant. That's the unfortunate thing. But it doesn't mean that there's not a window for opportunity for other sexes as well and genders to, you know, build their establishment too. I think it's because it depends on your environment too with Krump. Like with Toronto, I feel like it's pretty neutral, you know what I mean? And Monica's done a great job establishing, you know, comfortability within her sector, you know what I mean? And there's been growth and understanding with that, because I think that was the thing missing in Toronto, Krump, to allow others to come inside as well. You know what I mean? But, you know, you could be in an environment where people just aren't verbal enough to help people understand either. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a really good group of people that can articulate the purpose of Krump. It's just up to others to really understand it in depth and, you know, really care.
1,000% agreed. I don't know, are you like...
Yeah, sorry, I'm good, thank you, sorry.
Okay, cool. I saw that little pause and I was like, maybe. Yeah, honestly, I think at this point, it's exactly what Rhino said. It's like we've done so much, and yet we're still like in the same spot. In terms of an outside perspective, I think within the community, we've made great strides to better our community. You know? At the end of the day, it's still Krump. It's still a genre of dance. So we're just lucky enough, I think, to have a close community. Whereas, like, you know, people I know from the States, because states themselves, or even like the West, the South, the East, like those are coasts. So you have a lot more of like a spider web to kind of dig through. Whereas like Toronto Krump really only has like Canada Krump to relate to as a bigger community, you know, and we all get along. So in terms of dealing with each other, it's been smooth for the most part. I think our biggest issue is the dance community and where we fit in. I think we've tried both ways. I think we've in the earlier days, like even when I came in, I remember like the aggression and like I just remember being rowdy. I think the first event I ever went to was when Gush battled Crush. And that atmosphere was what made me want to continue in Toronto Krump. That was like the deal breaker for me to keep wanting to come back, because I could have been to a session that really didn't spark anything in me, and I would have just like stuck with hip hop or came in and out of Krump or whatever the case may be. But remembering that energy, it didn't scare me. It didn't intimidate me. It was just, I wanted to be there. You know what I'm saying? And so things obviously happened within Toronto Krump and the dance scene. I don't know, I'm pretty sure people remember where it kind of divided Krump from the dance scene. And so I think